Welcome to the channel and welcome to 8th edition Warhammer 40k. It's Greyknights versus Space Marines. This is Invictus Hive and the Governor's outpost is burning. The planetary governor lives in those towers at the back there which have been fortified, which have bunkers in front of, and it is on fire. This is the blackness. This is the coming of the Great Rift which ripped the galaxy in two, and the Emperor's light has gone out. During the blackness, chaos and confusion reigned, and during this chaos and confusion, Space Marine met Space Marine. Today, the Greyknights are going to be fighting the Space Marines of the 13th. So this is going to be a 2,500 point game. We are playing match play rules in all respects. However, we're playing the only war scenario. That's the very first war game in the rule book that you can find. And there are 4 objectives. There's one here, one there, one in the center, and one down by this ammo stash, by these crates here. And when you play only war, you pick one of the scoring options, and we are playing domination. This means that each of these objectives, you score them every turn. That's player turn you score them, not just game turn. So at the end of every player turn, whoever's in control of an objective gets 1 point. So there's no First Blood, no Slay the Warlord, no Line Breaker. It's all about these objectives, as these two forces are struggling to control the Hive, the city, struggling to control this key outpost. The 13th have long been friends, have long been allied here, and are trying to help the populace, and the Greyknights are here because everything is a threat, everything has fallen to chaos, and they're trying to take it in the name of the Emperor. We're playing Dawn of War deployment. The Greyknights have this edge, and Mike, my opponent, say hi Mike.
Hi Mike.
Mike's got the Greyknights, and he paid for the Sky Shield lander pad. It's coming, grants you a 4-up invulnerable save on the Sky Shield lander pad here. So the Greyknights have taken this bastion over here, and they mean to sweep out and control the city from this point. And the 13th are sweeping in from this side. As I said, standard Dawn of War deployment sweeping in. We don't know who's going first yet. We're going to be playing the match play rules, as I said, so whoever drops all their army down first will get to go first, unless the opponent sees them. Both the armies are quite small, quite elite. I haven't had a good look at the units yet to see who is likely to get the first drop, but that's it. So who will control Invictus Hive by the end of the game? Who will be the victor here? Certainly not the Imperium at the end of this day. Only the enemies of the Imperium would have won. Let's go and take a look at these armies. Okay, this is 2,500 points worth of Space Marines. It's a battalion detachment. It gives me 6 command points, and leading the charge is brother Captain Saul Garrow. He's got a Storm Shield and a Power Sword. He used to have a Relic Blade all the time, but you can't take a Storm Shield and a Relic Blade anymore. So just a normal Power Sword, and he's a tenacious fighter or survivor. His Warlord trait basically gives him a 6-up, feel no pain. And my second HQ is a Chaplain, and the reason why I brought a Chaplain is because I've got a lot of Terminators that should be swinging away at the Greyknights, and he allows you to re-roll hits in every round of combat now, not just the first one, which is very, very tasty. The 8 Hammer Terminators are probably going in the Land Raider because that's got a transport capacity of 16, and the Sergeant's got claws somewhere, the guy without a helmet, because Sergeants don't have claws. 2 sets of claws in there, nice and cheap, but 4 attacks with the power claws there. In the Crusader, and the Crusader's got a frightening amount of firepower now. 24 shots at the Hurricane Bolters at 12-inch range, 12 shots with the twin assault cannons, so that's 36 shots. Add the multi-motor, 37 shots within 12 inches. Frightening stuff. And then 6 more Terminators with a Cyclone missile launcher. Particularly liking this loadout with a Cyclone missile launcher because he is obviously 50 points just for that weapon, but he's obviously the last guy you take away, and it keeps them alive much, much longer. In the troops, 3 sets of troops. There's 8 scouts there, heavy bolter somewhere in there. There's the heavy bolter, and the sergeant's got a chainsword. And then 2 units of 5-man tactical squads with a flamer and a combi melter in both. And lascannon razorbacks for more long-range Dakar. Talking about long-range Dakar, 10-man devastator squad with 3 lascannons, 10-man devastator squad with 3 missile launchers. and I also brought a Storm Hawk Interceptor, a frightening number of points, but very, very good anti-air. It's all the guns on it are heavy, so it's hitting on 4s, but when it targets flyers with the intercept rule, it hits on 3s, and the Skyhammer launcher means it'll be hitting on 2s versus flyers. And lucky for me, Mike brought along a flyer, not 2 this time, just 1, but good anti-air there. Anyway, 2,500 points worth of Space Marines. The 13th are deploying en masse to protect Invictus Hive. Will the Greyknights take it from them? Let's go and have a look at their army. Right, this is 2,500 points worth of Greyknights. There's only 1 HQ in it, so it's a patrol detachment. Mike gets 3 command points, but that 1 HQ is Drago himself, the man, the myth, the legend. You gave him the 6 up for no pain as well, right?
I did, yeah.
And what's his psychic powers this time?
So he gets Smite anyway, so I went for Purge Soul again because it was such a good laugh the first time round.
Yes, it was.
And then I give him the Gate.
So you can jump and go somewhere else. Mind you, you can put that on a friendly unit as well, can't you?
You can, yeah.
Technically, you could put it on a Razorback.
You could actually. That'd be quite nasty.
So troops-wise, what we got? What are we looking at?
Okay, so we've got 10 Terminators. They've got Smite. They're going to have Hammerhand.
Yep.
The two Dreadknights have got to have Gate of Infinity, and they got Smite anyway.
We WYSIWYG there.
Yep. The Dreadnoughts, because you turn them into Greyknight ones, they actually get Smite as a basic.
Yeah.
And both these 2 units of 10 Strike Squad guys to the right, they've got Hammerhand and Smite.
Okay, so Hammerhand, Smite, and the big guys, Gate, and Purge Soul. I like the fact that Riflemen Dreads are coming back in.
Yeah.
I remember when you used these many editions ago. So you've got plenty of options to deep strike all over the place, because Strike Squad can deep strike in, I believe, and Combat Squad. The Terminators can Combat Squad and deep strike in if they want to. And then you've brought the very, very expensive Storm Raven gunship to put on your to put on your Sky Shield landing pad and give you a 5 up invulnerable save. When you're telling me that Sky Shields heal wounds now or something?
Yeah, so if you go for unfoiled with the Sky Shield landing pad, as long as a flyer is on there for an entire 1 turn, at the next turn it gets D3 wounds back.
Cool.
It's called auto pair.
So you could auto repair that for D3 wounds, stick a Tech Marine next to him for D3 moorings, and potentially could be doing 2 D3 wounds a turn.
That'd be quite a nasty way of linking that up. I never thought about that.
And just leave it on there as a gunship, and if anyone comes close to it, fly away. So it's all WYSIWYG. So loads of swords, loads of side cannons, loads of Greyknight nastiness.
Plenty of group boots on the ground with a little bit of mechanised armour support there. So
yeah,
we'll see how well it does in this awesome terrain.
It's a very 6th edition list. I like it. Okay, so let's go to deployment. And this is what the table looks like after deployment. We're ready for this only war scenario domination, where you get a point a turn every turn for every objective that you control. And I think I narrated it wrong already. Went back and checked and rechecked the rules. You score a point at the end of every turn, not every battle round. So at the very end of game turn 1, Mike will get a point for that. I should get a point for my one, which is over there, etc, etc. So you're scoring at the end of every game turn, not at the end of every battle round. And I've deployed everything on the table except for 1 unit of Terminators, the shooty Terminators, which are in Deep Strike Reserve, and I actually managed to deploy everything before the Greyknights. Terminators in there. Soul Garrow is the only thing in this Razorback. Both of these are empty. And I switched the squads. They were bought for the tactical guys, but dedicated transports don't belong to specific units anymore. You can just buy them per slot. So put 5 tactical guys in there with the chaplain, 5 tactical guys in there with no one at all, ready to try and get that one. These guys set up in concealed positions, ready to get that one. So I'm close to getting 2 objectives already. Already control this one, and the idea of Garrow being here, my captain, is he will allow me to re-roll hit rolls of 1. Didn't combat squad up either of the Devastators because I want to be firing those missile launchers all the way through the game, all the time. Hammernator's ready to come up the table and smash apart Mike's castle. And he's kept both of the Dreadknights in reserve because they have teleport homers, and Drago's under the Sky Shield landing pad. He's down there, and he deployed the large unit of Terminators up in his deployment zone. I would have fully expected this unit to be deep striking in turn 1 and applying pressure all the way along my front line, but no. Mike has decided to put them back there to form one hell of a castle, It's going to be extremely tough to smack that open. But there are 2 5-man units of strike squad in reserve joining the Dreadknights, and the other 5-man strike squads are hunkered down in this ruin here. Somewhat isolated, but they're still Greyknights, they still have smite, and all that's opposing them at this end is a single Rhino with 5 guys versus 2 Razorbacks and 10 guys. I think he'll probably get this one. But the centre of the city is definitely going to be hotly contested. As I said, I managed to get all my stuff down first, so I'm going first, unless you can try and steal the initiative.
Well, I promised Winters that I am going to try and steal, and if I fail, I am going to spend a command point.
You only have 3.
I know.
You only have 3.
I know.
Okay.
Let's do this.
All right.
Come on, 6s.
6s. Oh, you really want to spend your vote?
Yeah.
Okay, dropping it down to 2 command points already.
Oh,
that's a shame. As the first shots ring out across Invictus Hive, the 13th have the initiative and they pour forward into the city. End of the movement phase in the 13th advance. I'm keeping the Terminators in reserve because the 2 Dreadknights and 2 strike squads in reserve. I didn't want anything popping out in my back lines that I couldn't deal with. I need to keep that card in my pocket. And talking about reserve, this unit got out and moved up. I wanted to put the Rhino up there as well to help block them, but instead after they got out, the Rhino pulled back because otherwise a Dreadknight or strike squad could just pop in there right behind my line. So pulling that back because you can only deep strike 9 inches away from an enemy model. Same over here, the Razorback wanted to keep it there, maximising ballistic skill because I've moved it sitting on 4s, not 3s. But I needed to pull it along, otherwise a Dreadknight could appear here. But now I've pulled this along, the Dreadknight's going to be a bit further away from my castle. So using my vehicles to help deny deep striking. This thing shoving up the table with its 8 Hammonators in it. That thing shoving up the table with a Chaplain in it. These guys going forward a little bit, but the heavy bolters staying still. And now I've got lots and lots and lots of pressure. Stormhawk here, lots and lots of pressure to pour down into the mini castle that the Greyknights are presenting me. This could be painful. So the Stormhawk doing what I brought it here to do, firing everything at the Stormraven. Las Talons would be hitting on 4s, but because it can fly, hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit, and it's strength 9, toughness high, wounding on 3s. That doesn't wound. Skyhammer missile launcher is heavy 3. It'll be 3s to hit because that can fly, plus 1 to hit because it can fly. So hitting on 2s, heavy 3. And that's 2 hits. The SM Battle Report logo, those are 6s. Strength 7, toughness 7, 4s. Nothing at all again. And then the 2 assault cannons. Again, heavy weapons should be hitting on 4s, but because of interceptor, we'll be hitting on 3s. 12 shots though. 3s to hit. That's a bit better. 11 out of 12 hits. This is strength 6 versus toughness 7 though, so I need 5s to wound. And that's a lot of wounds. 6 wounds. So 6 4-up saves, because it's -1. And, ooh, I think you've taken 4 wounds there.
4 wounds off.
4 wounds straight away. Moving along the line to the Crusader, firing the Hurricane Bolters at the Terminators, and then the Melter and the Twin Assault Cannon at the Storm Raven. Let's kick it while it's down. So Melter hits on a 4 because it's hard to hit. It's a flyer. That's a hit with a Melter. Strength 8, toughness 7. Doesn't wound. Twin Assault Cannons, 4s to hit because it's a flyer. That many hits, and ooh, come back dice. I need 5s to wound. 1, 2, 3. 3 wounds, 3 more saves, Michael. Would you get 1, 2? 2 more fails. So it's on 8 wounds left, and now the Hurricane Bolt is in at the Terminators. This is going to be 12 shots at this range. 3s to hit. Not too shabby. Strength 4, toughness 4. I need 4s to wound. And I get 2 wounds. Just 2 wounds with 2 Terminator saves.
2 saves.
And you make them both. So all the Land Raider did is take a couple of hull points off that Storm Raven. So let's fire this guy at, well, it's going to be 5s to hit because it moves, so it's hitting on 4s. If it shoots at the Storm Raven, it'll be 5s to hit. So let's fire at the Dreadnought instead. So 4s to hit on that lead Dreadnought with the 2 last. And that is 1 hit. Strength 9, toughness 7, wounds on a 3. Doesn't wound, that's a 2. Right, let's fire the other one up at the Storm Raven. Solgaro is next to it, so I'll be re-rolling once. Hitting on 4s though, because again, hard to hit. Both hit. Strength 9, toughness 7, 3s to wound. Come on, baby. 2 wounds, -3 AP, puts you down to a 6 up. You get 5 up because you're on
5 ups.
2 5s up because you're on the Sky Shield. You
So
make
you won
1. It's on 7, 8 wounds, 8 wounds, and this does D6 damage. 4 damage, puts it straight down to 4 wounds. 4 wounds left on the Storm Raven, which should be dead already. So let's fire Las Cannon Devastators at him. Hitting on 4s because it's hard to hit, +1 to hit with the Signum. And they are within 6 inches of Solgaro. So the Signum will be hitting on a 3, and it misses. And it isn't a 1, so I can't re-roll it. And these guys hit on 4s. Are you going to live through this? That's only 1 hit. I need a 3 to wound. That's a wound. 5 up and vulnerable save. Which you make. The armour buckling, the shields of the Sky Shield flickering away. It's still alive, that Storm Raven. So let's fire 3 missile launches at it now. Again with a Signum 3s. No, re-rolling once. Solgaro within 6 inches. And that's a hit. And the 2 that hit on 4s, that's all 3 hit this time. This could be it. This could be total biscuits. Strength 8, toughness 7, 3s to wound. Triple 1s. Triple 1s. I think the Emperor is with you this day. Seriously, that's all my long range firepower. All of it. I've got a heavy bolter. Do I bother firing at that with a heavy bolter? It's got 4 wounds left. I can't wreck it with a heavy bolter. There's no point. There's no point firing it with a heavy bolter. So let's fire the scouts at them. So I did the heavy bolter and the bolter rounds in at the Terminators off camera, and everything smashed off their armour. They held firm, and then there was a cheeky plasma shot from my sergeant here through the window in the side of that Razorback there, and didn't damage it at all. Long story short, we have fired all of our weapons. Magazines drop into the ground as we reload our sickle clips. Dust exploding all around us, energy fields flickering off the enemy in front of us, and as we look through the smog, as we reload and rearm, nothing has died, no explosions, no first blood. No first blood in this game anyway, but that Storm Raven is buckled, it's bent, it is steaming, but it can still fly. End of the Grey Knight movement phase, and the Storm Raven is staying there. The petals are staying up. If he had unfurled them, he could heal D3 wounds, but he's keeping the 5 up in vulnerable save. Consigned to the fact that that Storm Raven is probably going to go pop at some point. It's still got 4 hull points left, smoking and steaming, and he has been joined by a Dread Knight, ready to prevent the charge of the Terminators that are inside this Land Raider Crusader here. Meanwhile, the Grey Knight Terminator is shifting across to try and get this objective off the scouts. Remember, at this game turn, at the end of this turn, I'm going to score 3 objectives, unless the Grey Knights take some from me, because I've got that one, and this one. I'll score 3 points. The Grey Knights will only have 1 point, and you score at the end of every turn, and so they've got to do something about those scouts, which does mean the Terminators will be up and deployed in the centre of the table, and there's 2 full units of Devastators here that will have a chance to fire at them. However, I'd have hoped that this Storm Raven was dead. So some of this firepower might have to go at the Storm Raven to clear it away first before I can wash it over the centre objective. Maybe they'll be safe for a turn. We're also calling all of these train pieces, so long as you're wholly within them, as per match play rules, that you'll get a +1 cover save as though you were in a ruin. And then down this side of the battle grid, suddenly there's another Dread Knight. One of the units of strike squads got out of the Razorback, disembarking 3, moving 6, and that's an 8-inch charge. We pre-measured an 8-inch, just over 8 inches away, so an 8-inch charge if he wants to try and take this objective off me. Is that the empty Razorback or the one?
Yeah.
That's the empty one. So the one still with 5 guys in is here, and then one of your strike squads deep struck in this way. And there's a side cannon, 2 side cannons in this squad. One staring through that window, that way, and the other one staring through that window, that way. So you've kept 1 unit of strike squad in reserve. My Terminators are still in reserve, but apart from that, everything is now deployed on this battle grid. It looks like the Grey Knights mean to push hard for this objective here, and push hard up the centre of the table as well, leaving this side, this area clear for now. So the game plan is beginning to unfold. Let's move on to the Greyknight Psychic phase, which is significant. End of the Psychic phase. Strike Squad in there smited this, Dreadknight smited that, and this Dreadknight smited one of the scouts there on a Hammerhand, and that's it. He had more smite in the bag, more stuff that he could do. He could have put another smite out here, and basically he didn't want to overkill some of these units because he wants to charge there, he wants to charge there. Don't know why you didn't do Hammerhand. Oh yeah, because you did Hammerhand and that one there. You can only do it once as per the rule of one. Yep. Okay, so a mild smiting across the backside there because the fury of the Greyknights can be so powerful. Anyway, let's go on to the shooting phase and see what you wipe out. Opening up the shooting phase, we've got 10 Stormbolt shots, 5 guys coming in at the Devastators, plus both of the side cannons from this squad, and then the remaining shots coming up at the Stormhawk. This unit is within range of Drago.
There he is.
He's under there somewhere, and you get to re-roll everything. So these are the Stormbolt shots.
Okay, yep. Threes.
Threes to hit.
2 missed.
Didn't really need... Yeah, okay. So 9 out of 10 hits. Wounded on 4s.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. That's almost as bad as my wounding. Mind you, you've got the side cannons now.
Now the side cannons. Hit on 4s though.
Hitting on 4s, yeah, they're heavy weapons, they moved, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Got to re-roll the 1s and 2s.
Yeah, but not the 3s, because you re-roll natural fails. Oh yeah, got 4 hits.
And 2s,
Yep.
So no hits on that. So it's 4 hits in total.
Yep.
Strength 7. Wounded on 3s. 3 wounds.
3 wounds. Minus what AP?
-1, but 2 damage.
Minus 1 AP. They're in this +1 cover. So it would have been a 2 up, but because you've got the thing, it's a 3 up. So 3 saves of 3 up. And I make all 3. Okay, then 6 Stormbolt shots coming up at the Stormhawk. Hitting on 3s because you're doing re-rolls before the modifiers. 3s to hit. And then re-roll any misses because of Drago. And then you apply the modifiers. So then it's 4s to hit. How many 4s did you get?
3.
3. Okay, and you need 5s to win. I think it's toughness 7.
1 wound.
1 wound. I have a 3 up save. And the kids are screaming again. It must be school out. Anyway, it saves. Like, so hot in here. It's the middle of summer. I don't want to close those windows because, yeah, the smell of man sweat. But I have to do it because of screaming children. Okay, so completely unaffected with your Terminators. I like that. A bit like my shooting phase. What else you got? What else you got?
I've got the Dreadknight here. This isn't very good so far.
No. What's he shooting at?
He's going to be shooting at the Land Raider.
Everything?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So side cannon coming in at the Land Raider. Peace Silencer going up at the Stormhawk. Which one are you doing first?
So I was going to do everything at that.
Everything at the Stormhawk?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 3s to hit because you got your re-roll and then we'll apply the modifiers. So 3s to hit with your side cannon, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay, and then re-roll any misses. So the 1s and 2s. And then how many did you get? 3 hits.
3 hits.
Strength 7?
Strength
It
7.
used to be strength 7. Strength 7, toughness 7, 4s to wound. 2 wounds. -1, so 4 up saves. I make 1 and it's 2 damage a pop. Which drops the Stormhawk down to 8 wounds, and now we have the Peace Silencer. 3s to hit. And then re-rolling everything because of Drago. And then you apply them, yeah, and then it becomes a 4. See how that works? So those 3s there, you don't get to re-roll. Sucks, but
It's what it is.
it is what it is. Them's the
5s to
rules.
wound.
5s to wound, yeah. Strength 4, toughness 7, 5s to wound.
2.
2 wounds. Any negative on this?
No.
No.
So
So straight up 3 up. And I make them both. Mike's electing to fire everything from the Storm Raven at the Stormhawk.
Yeah.
I would fire at this. We had a bit of a debate off camera. Not a large debate, not a mass debate, just a small debate. And I would put the guns down here and put the rifle dreads up there, but Mike wants to kill it. So hitting on 5s essentially, because it's 4s to hit now because it's crippled. And then it'll be -1 to hit that. But you do get a reroll because it is within 6 inches of Drago. So the 2 melters, hitting on 4s in this current state. Reroll and you miss. and then you apply a negative. So that's a 6. So that is a hit. Now you need to wound. Strength 8, toughness 7, 3s to wound. That is a wound, and it strips straight through my armor. I can't do anything there. It's 3 up save, -4 with a multi-melter. So it just does a straight 6 damage. Are you within 12 inches? No, you measure from the bases according to Tools of War, unless you haven't got a base. So no, so it's a straight D6 damage. I've got 8 wounds left. 1. Sorry about that. I feel sorry. What did you say? Command
I'm
point?
going to spend another command
You need
point.
your command points for your perils, mate. You
No.
need them for perils.
No, I'm going to
You're going to do it?
Yeah, so
Okay.
roll a 1.
Okay.
Re-rolling.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that worked. Okay, that dropped the Stormhawk all the way down 3 wounds. You've only got 1 command point left, though. And
Yep.
you said you were fine everything else at him anyway. So 2 lads?
2 lads.
Yep. 4s to hit, re-rolling because of Drago.
So 2 bits.
Both hit. Strength 9, toughness 7.
3s.
No wounds.
And then the 2 missiles.
Okay, 2 missiles. Re-rolling because of Drago.
Oh, 1 hit.
1 hit.
Strength 8.
Yep.
Wounded on 3s. Nah.
No. No. My flyer survives. I guess you're going to have to put some Daka Dread into it. Okay, the rifleman opening up 8 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of Drago.
Hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 3s, and then you apply you do the re-rolls and then actually I don't know if you need to re-roll anything. Because
That was pretty nasty.
8 out of 8 hits. Okay, strength 7, toughness 7, so 4s to wound. How much you get? I can see
6.
6.
That's 12 wounds.
That's 12 wounds. And it's -1 AP. So basically, 4 up save. I need to make 4 of these.
Okay.
Because if I fail... I need to make 4 of these. I need to make 5 of these. If I fail 2, that's 4 wounds. I've got 3 wounds left. I don't make 5 of them. I nearly do. I do! No, I don't. Yes, I do. That's a 4 up. I do.
You do it.
I do. That's
It
2
happened.
wounds. There's 2 wounds. I'm on 1 left. I do. I'm used to saying no. I failed everything. He's dead. I'm so used to just picking my models up. He's got 1 hull point left. The Emperor protects. What did you say?
Drago's quite annoyed about that, so he's going to fire a Stormbolter at it. 2 shots.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 2s. And then re-rolling any misses. You didn't miss, and then that becomes a miss because it's hard to hit. So 1 hit, 5 you need. Drago needs a 5 to take it out of the sky. Drago doesn't take it out of the sky. So he has to dedicate the last rifle dread at it, but 1 gun is going up here. And the other gun, he's picking on the empty rhino all the way over here to try and shut down my mobility. So what are you firing at first?
The first gun is going to fire at the flyer.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s, so 4s to hit.
3s to hit, re-rolling misses. There are no misses, then you apply the modifier, and then those 2 3s become misses, which sucks. But it's the rules. And then 3, strength 7, toughness 7, 4s to wound. You don't wound. The Stormhawk flies on, trailing smoke with 1 wound remaining, and then the rifle dread fires across at the rhino. 3s to hit, which all hit. Strength 7, toughness 7, 4s to wound. They all wound. I am not in cover, so it's a 4 up save because it's -1. And I fail 1, so it drops 2 more wounds, dropping it down to 7 wounds left. Dreadknight, flaming the rhino, d6 hits.
I don't want to overkill the scouts.
No.
So
you want to
D6
charge
for my
it.
hits. 1 hit.
One
Strength
hit.
6, -1 to AP,
Well,
plus 2 damage.
okay, so it's wounding on a 5.
Nothing.
Nothing. You're not overkilling the scouts and you're not overkilling the rhino. Is that his only gun? WYSIWYG. Oh yeah, he's only got a flamer. Razorback.
This back at the rhino at the back.
Razorback versus Rhino. Yep. And
It moved, so it's 4s to hit.
Yep, you can see.
Oh, that's terrible.
1 hit. 5s to wound. That is a wound. It is -1. And it does strip a wound off of it, so I'm down to 6 left on this rhino. The lamppost is moving.
These guys
Yes.
are going to shoot at the razorback.
Shoot at
the
this
rhino. Yeah.
because you want to charge them.
Yeah.
Okay, what you got in that squad? Stormbolters.
Yeah.
We're outside of 12-inch range there, so that's just 10 shots hitting on 3s and wounding on 5s.
Hit.
So you're pretty good at hitting.
I just can't wound for anything.
You can't wound for toffee. No, neither could I.
5s.
Can you wound this time round? Yes, you can.
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can. 4 wounds, 5 wounds, 4
5
wounds,
wounds.
4 wounds,
Five
because that's 4, isn't a wound.
Correct.
3 episodes.
Oh.
Oh dear. 3 wounds left on this rhino. Down to 3 wounds left. It's smoking, it's steaming, and there is a side cannon, Stormbolter looking through the window, straight at it.
Stormbolter first?
Yep.
2 hits.
2 hits, 5 to wound.
Nothing.
No wounds, and then...
It's the sight cannon shots. They moved, they still get 4 shots now.
Do
which
they?
is good.
So none of that
that's gonna be
salvo
fours.
business. It's just
No.
8 shots coming smashing in.
-1.
-1 to hit.
So 4s.
That's pretty good shooting text. That's 6 out of 8 hits there. Strength 7 still?
Strength 7. Yeah.
Okay, so force to wound. And you can only do 1 wound again. Here's the save.
Yeah, you make it.
And that's a save. And the remainder of that squad didn't fire at these guys. He doesn't want to kill any because he knows I'll probably take from the front, making that charge even longer. And that's that. As the smoke clears, this is on 3 wounds left. Stormhawk is on 1 wound left. And just as I didn't kill anything, the Greyknights haven't killed anything in the shooting phase. Were they being kind with their trigger fingers? Were they trying not to bring these Imperial forces out the sky? Or were they just saving up for the murder that will come in the assault phase? So let's move on to the charge phase. So this unit braved a charge from them, and them firing Overwatch twice. First at them not wounding any because they're in a ruin. Then at these guys and killing one of them. And they also failed the charge, running through the flames, both of these squads. The Flamer and the squad squirting right and left and all over the place, keeping the Greyknights back. Meanwhile over here, the Terminators have made it in. I didn't do any damage on Overwatch. This is where they're in after the consolidate or pile in, the 3-inch bit at the beginning. This is where they've ended up. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Terminators engaged, including the Sergeant, the Justicar there. So these scouts are in for a world of pain. So the halberds striking.
Hitting on 3s.
Oh yeah. And you got... Okay, so that's 4 hits, and this is strength 5, right?
Yep.
So 3s to wound. And minus a lot AP. What is the minus?
-3.
Is it?
Yeah.
3 are dead. And when I said 3, I meant 4. And now you got your sword within an inch, and this guy, they're all striking as well. So that's 4 more attacks with swords. And that's 3 hits.
Force to wound.
Force to wound, yeah.
1.
1 more wound, 1 more dead. Let's take him because I want my sergeant to strike. And then your hammer. Hammer time.
Force to hit.
Yeah, because it's unwieldy.
2 hits.
No, they both hit.
2s to wound.
2s to wound.
Oh,
one survives, so I might as well kill him. And then my sergeant can strike back. He has got a chain fist, and I believe in him. I think he can tear one of the Auto Terminators apart, and he'll hit on 3s. And he'll get 1 hit, maybe not apart, but strength 4, toughness 4. He doesn't even wound. And then you get to consolidate, pile in an extra 3 inches, but it must be towards the closest enemy unit if you so wish. After consolidation, they end up like that. My lone sergeant in the middle, and I've got a morale chest to make, and I roll a dice. 1, which is the lowest I can get, but I lost 7 models that turn. 7 plus 1 is 8. He is leadership 8. He holds.
What a legend.
He holds, and he's surrounded, and he can't move. Because when you pile in, you don't have to go in a straight line, so long as this guy ended up closer. And he was about... You pulled him all the way around here. He's definitely close to that guy. But you've done it so he can't move out without dying. Because he can't move within an inch of an enemy model in the movement phase. So I'm stuck there. That's the best possible result for you. He is not a legend. Because I can't get away from you. And I can't shoot at your Terminators.
Scout Sergeant.
Scout Sergeant holding up. So Garrow screaming at him saying, just die, goddammit. But he won't die. He's trying to do all he can, and you're going to slaughter him in my turn, and then come charging forward, and I'm deeply upset about that. I'm deeply upset. He should be dead. And at the end of game turn 1, you have 1, 2 objectives. You control those 2. You have more models within an inch of that one, 3 inches of that one, and that one. So you've got 2. I've got 2. It's 2 points each at the end of game turn 1. I've still got my Terminators in my pocket. I'm wondering whether I decide to bring them in this turn or not. My Stormhawk is still alive, still chugging along on 1 hull point left. He'll be not very combat effective as he flies through the sky. Mind you, neither is your Storm Raven, and this is very disturbing. Can't move within an inch of an enemy model. I'm engaged in combat, can't get past them. Maybe I can still fall out. I need to have a look at those fallback rules to see if I can get the hell out of there. So I need a timeout while I go study the rules, and then we'll move on to game turn 2 for the 13th. So in the movement phase, we think he can't move within an inch of an enemy model, so we think he's stuck there because he's surrounded, which means I can't shoot at the Terminators this turn, which sucks. And what also sucks is my Terminators are out. This is going to be a 4-inch charge to crack open that Dread Knight with a lot of wounds, but Drago's under there, and they've both got gate. So if I don't kill them, they could leave quite easily, quite quickly, just get out of there. So this needs to be overwhelming. So the Land Raider's also moving up to provide as much firepower as I can. Try and kill Drago, try and kill the Dread Knight, try and take this castle with just 8 Hammonators. At least it gives him a lot to think about here. Razorback standing still to bring all weapons to bear. This is now empty. The chaplain got out and made his way through the wall along with the squad. And then we realised we made a mistake already, because only infantry can move through walls. Vehicles can no longer move through walls. So my Rhino can't get over there, and this one can't get over there. And it meant the Razorback couldn't get through that wall there. And it means this Razorback can never get through that wall there, which is an honest mistake. We completely forgot about the moving through ruins walls thing. So rather than leaving that absolutely neutered for the rest of the game and stuck back in this terrain piece, Mikey's going to move him through the wall next turn to get him out of that terrain piece. And then we're going to say that the walls then become solid. Some warp craft there going on to allow your Razorbacks to get through the walls, and then going on from there will revert to normal rules, because obviously you wouldn't have placed them there.
No, that would have changed my deployment. Being over here, it would have changed the flanking option, but yeah, it was an honest mistake, guys, so apologise about that.
Yeah, it's just a 7th edition itch that still needs scratching every now and then. And then my Terminators, my last unit of Terminators have come in here. I need to bolster this objective, so Terminators in here, ready to throw firepower down there, along with the squad that was there to back this up. So I've got multiple squads now trying to control this objective. This one's yours next turn. I don't think you're getting here next turn unless you gate. Yeah, playing my cards, playing my hand now. The 13th are now deployed. No more stuff in reserve. And now I really need to kill something because I didn't kill anything last turn. So let's start by trying to kill that Storm Raven. Razorback, stay still. You're in VTOL mode now because you didn't move. So it's just 3s to hit. And I get 1 hit, strength 9, toughness 7, no wounds. The other one's here for exactly the same thing, so 3s to hit on Storm Raven. Rerolling 1s because of Solgaro, my captain there. And he misses as well. All 4 las cannons miss. I guess it's steaming and belching so much smoke, we're just firing through fog. So let's fire the Devastators at that Storm Raven. It must die. Signum hitting on a 2. Rerolling 1s. That's a hit, and the other 2 hitting on 3s. So 2 hits. I need 3s to wound. Come on. A 1 and a 2. Unbelievable. Right, this squad at the Storm Raven, Signum, and the other 2 shots. Everything hits this time. 3s to wound this. Only 1 wound with a 5-up save. Which you make. Seriously? Both Razorbacks, both units are Devastators, and you can't bring it down. Okay, so I'm going to do the Twin Assault Cannon and the Multi-Melter at it, and then the Hurricane Bolters at the Dreadnought. Okay?
Yep.
Multi-Melter, forced to hit because actually I've got Power of the Machine Spirit, so he'll hit on a 3. Because Power of the Machine Spirit allows you to fire heavy weapons. And I roll a 2 anyway. Twin assault cannons. Come on. 3s to hit. Okay, so that's a few hits there. And strength 6, toughness 7, 5s to wound. That's a bit better. That's 4 wounds. You have 4 wounds remaining, and it's -1 to your save. Motorbike.
4 up armour save.
4 up armour save.
I make 2, so down 2 wounds.
Then Hurricane Bolters at the Dreadnought, which I now wish I'd fired at the Storm Raven. That many hits, and 5s to wound. 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds on your Dreadnought with a 3 up save.
4 wounds.
4 wounds.
3 up. Takes 2.
2 off. And he's got 2 left. That would have killed him if I'd have fired everything at him. Damn. So the Dreadnought's on 6 wounds. This is on 2 wounds, and the Stormhawk is going to try and fire at him. Let's put everything into him. Let's just put everything into him. I would be hitting on 5s because of my low ballistic skill, because I'm on 1 wound left. But I'm hitting on 6 because it's a heavy weapon, and it goes back to 5 because you have the fly keyword. So 2 shots with the Las Talon hitting on 5s. And a miss. And then heavy 3 shots with the Sky Hammer will be hitting on 5s, +1 again because of Interceptor and Fly. So this is 4s to hit with the Sky Hammers. 1 hit. Strength 7, toughness 7. No wounds. The assault cannons just have to do it as he flew past, spraying this area of the battle grid. 5s to hit, come on. That looks good. That was 5 hits, but I need 5s to wound, and I get 2 wounds, -1 to your save, so 2 4-up saves, or he crashes, finally crashes. Please fail them both.
1 wound.
1. Makes one of them, he's down to 1 wound remaining. The Storm Raven and the Stormhawk both on 1 wound left, and I think that's the end of all the long-range firepower I can fire back here, and that was deeply, deeply disappointing. I'm a little bit upset, to be honest. Then across over here, some Storm Bolter shots going at the Dreadnought doing nothing, and these guys flaming and plasmering, and the Terminators firing in and down at this unit of Strike Squad, killing 3 of them, because one had already died. And that's the end of my shooting phase. Again, I kill nothing in the shooting phase. He's still left alive, and the Storm Raven is still left alive. So I'm going to definitely charge over here. And they'll be in. We'll do the Overwatch in a second. And I need a 4-inch charge on my Assault Terminators into your Dreadknight. And I make that charge. So let's do the Overwatch off camera and then resolve these assaults. So I make it into combat here without taking any wounds, and I make it into combat here without taking any wounds. I'll do this assault first because I don't want him interrupting me. And there's 6 Thunderhammers there, 2 claws. Swinging with the hammers first, 4s to hit because they're unwieldy. That's pretty good. And it's strength double, so I'm going to be wounding on 3s. And that's a lot of wounds. That's 7 wounds there. It's -3 to your save, so it's just 5 up and buns, 7 times. So 7 5-up saves, and everyone you fail.
That was a 5 there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, but it does 3 damage a pop, so that's 6 wounds off of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got 6 left because he starts with 12. Now for the claws. Claws on the sergeant, so he's got an extra attack. And these hit on 3s. And that's 5 hits. And I'm going to be wounding on 5s. And re-rolling to wound. Just 1 wound. 4-up save, which you fail. So that puts him down to 5 wounds.
4. 1 damage.
Just 1 damage.
Okay, so he's on to 5.
5 wounds, so I didn't kill him. And then we're going over here. You only got 1 command point left, so you can't interrupt a charge anyway. So this got a 5 of 6 attacks because the sergeant's got an extra attack, hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits, wounding on 4s. 1 wound. Can the Greyknights save it?
Yes, he can.
Yes. Okay, 1 attack back, hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Wounding on a 4 with your power sword.
No.
Doesn't.
They did get the
wound.
hammer hand though. It does count.
Yeah, you're right. You did get hammer hand on him. It's +1 to wound, so that is a wound. So -3 a power sword. So I do get a 6-up armor save, which I fail, and one of my guys dies. So the Nemesis Dreadknight is down to 3 attacks because he's wounded, but because he's got 2 Nemesis Dreadknight fists, it gives him +1 attack. So he's got 4 attacks, and he's hitting on 3s still. He's always hitting on 3s. That's 3 hits.
3 hits.
And you re-rolled a hit because you're right next to Drago.
Drago.
And everything. And his strength 12.
2 to wound.
And that's 4 wounds, and it's minus AP, very, very high. So I have 3 up in vulnerable save. And I fail 1, and I think it's D3 damage.
It's D6 damage, but it's always a flat 3 regardless.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
If it gets less than a 3 or equal to 3, it's always a 3 damage on the Great Hammer.
Terminator's dead. You're right, but that's a Dread Hammer. This guy's got the 2 fists, which is D3 wounds. And if you roll a 1... No, so you do kill a Terminator. And that's the end of my phase. I do lose a Terminator and hurt this thing, but don't have to take morale there. And I do lose a Space Marine, but don't have to take morale here because there's a Sergeant there, which I would pass. Oh no, it's not the end of my phase. I've got the Sergeant here who hits on 3s. That's 2 hits. He'll wound on 4s. That's a wound on one of your Terminators. Roll a 2. Roll a 1, sorry. Yeah, and then you get to... I'll pick him up. I'll just... you get to kill him.
His own grenade.
Get out of the way. And then you can pile in 3 inches to the closest enemy unit, which might be the Stormhawk, actually. I think it's the Stormhawk.
But if it's a flyer, I can't assault it.
It's still the closest enemy unit, unfortunately. So that's end of turn 2 for the 13th, and the Dice Gods have been cursed. They are cursing me. Still haven't killed anything. There's still 1 left in that squad there. The Storm Raven, which should have been dead 10 times over. Let's face it, he should have been wiped out, but somehow he's still belching smoke. But I've got some deep penetration in your lines here and at the other side of the table. However, I'm sure Drago is going to have something to say about all of this, and you can smite. So let's go on to Greyknights, turn 2. Here we are after the Grey Knight movement phase. These guys consolidated 3 inches closer to the closest enemy unit, which was the Stormhawk, at the end of my turn, and then move 5, and they're coming around here to deal with the Assault Terminators, along with Drago poking his head out from under the Sky Shield landing pad to hold down the castle and kill them utterly. This Dread Knight didn't go through the wall. He came up and over that piece and is coming around this way. The strike squad opened a warp rift in the middle of that ruin to get through it, and so the Razorback could drive through the ruin and never go back in there again, as we said. They would have started back down at the end of the battlefield and moved up and been here anyway, so it hasn't really affected the gameplay at this time, but it looks like that tactical squad are gonna get hurt. And they're supported by the second strike squad, which has come through the ruin, because infantry can move through walls. So some pressure on this side with the strike squads on this objective here. Some consolidating around the middle to push back the assault Terminators there. He decided not to come forward through his Terminators into this hail of fire, because the firepower from my back line has been so devastating so far. It's almost killed a Storm Raven in 2 turns of shooting. Didn't want to risk his Terminators facing that. Instead choosing to hold ground. Anyway, let's go on to Greyknights, Psychic Phase. Psychic Phase, Drago is going to try and Purge Soul these Terminators. Warp charge value of 5. And you make it. And I can't deny, so you roll a dice, add your leadership. I roll a dice and add my leadership. My sergeant's still there. I've got 3 plus 8 is 11. You've got 9 plus 4 is
13.
13. You beat it by 2. 13 to 11. You beat it by 2. It does 2 mortal wounds to them. Just wiping out 1 Terminator straight away with mind bullets. Then Drago's doing smite.
He's so angry, guys.
He's very angry. And kills another one. Greyknights smite only ever does 1 mortal wound, so it puts one of these down to a mortal wound. And then the Dreadnought, smiting, I guess.
Yep.
We checked it. He can see that squad just. Yep, that's a 5, so that kills another one. 2 mind bullets. 2 Terminators dead already. Is he smiting?
He's going to... No, he's not.
No?
No, I don't want to risk getting the perils.
Are you going to gate?
I think there's going to be enough attacks coming in to kill everyone.
You think?
Yeah.
I think they're going to be okay. I think with my Storm Shields...
Can I gate out? I can.
Yeah, you can gate out of combat. You can just gate.
Yeah, I'm going to gate.
Okay.
Oh no, I can't because it's a special ability. It's the second special ability, isn't it? I already done Purge Soul.
Oh yeah.
It's smite everything, but only 1 special.
He Purge Soul. You haven't done a gate yet. He's done Purge Soul and Smite. Smite. He can Smite or Gate, because you gave him Gate.
Yeah. Gate.
Gate?
Yeah.
Gate.
Warp charge 6.
Okay.
And he makes it.
It's not Perils, is it?
No.
And he's just gone, leaving my Terminators stranded. And the Terminators are blinking their eyes as a Warp Rift appears, leaving Drago and some Grey Knight Terminators staring at them. And the Dread Knight falls through the rift and ends up over here. Now, he didn't fall back out of combat in the movement phase. He is gated of Infinity in the Psychic phase. Because it wasn't a fallback move, he's still free to shoot and charge until that gets fact. And he's now down in my deployment zone, ready to kill some Terminators, which is just nasty. So then the Terminators cast Hammerhand. He smited, and the closest one was this. And now this squad, the strike squad which deep struck last turn, are smiting. And the closest unit to them is the Stormhawk on one hull point left. If you roll a 5...
I'm going to make the pilot like his head pop.
Yeah.
Here we go. He's dead.
His head just explodes. Does it blow up?
No.
No, it doesn't blow up. You kill it with a mind bullet. That's sad. Then he tried to smite them. We could just check. You can see one on the edge. You Perils. Now, do you want to roll your last command point, or are you going to take D3 mortal wounds? Yep, so he's going to re-roll one of those 6s on his last command point. And
this is 6 again.
It's a 6 again. Right, the power goes off, they take a mortal wound, and then the Dreadnought takes D3 mortal wounds. And he only takes a wound, so he does a wound to himself and a wound to the Terminators. The Fresh Squad doing Smite, please Perils again. No, you kill one, the last guy on its own.
They're so annoyed.
Just Smite, Smite, Smite.
And then them guys,
okay,
I'm going to do Smite on the Terminators.
No, it's going to hit the Rhino,
the
closest unit.
Sorry.
Yeah. So a hull point taken off of that. 2 tactical marines dead there. A hull point taken off of this Rhino. Stormhawk Interceptor ripped out the sky. 2 Terminators dead and the Dread Knight up and over here. And let's not forget they're on a Hammerhand as well. And all it cost you was a measly hull point, a measly wound on a Dreadnought. Greyknights Psychic Power coming into full effect there before they even pull the trigger. So let them pull the trigger. Let's move on to the shooting phase. The Greyknights masters of the warp there, and now that Dreadnought has disappeared, then we have Stormbolters in rapid fire range at my Assault Terminators and the Psy Cannons. He's unloading everything, as Captain Kirk would say, fire everything at these Assault Terminators. This could sting. After rolling the hit and rolling the wound with the Stormbolters, that was 17 wounds. I have 17 2-up saves to make. And I passed 16 of them. Just 1 there. But that is enough to kill another Terminator. And now we've got the Psy Cannons. 8 shots, these are heavy, so they hit on 4s. The only saving grace of the last shooting attack, and this one, is you're not within 6 inches of Drago. 4s and 3s. 2 wounds, it's -1 AP, and 1 takes a wound, 1 damage a pop. Drago caused 2 more wounds with his Stormbolter, and I know it's just crumbling. They are just dying. Another one dies. Then moving down the line, Psy Cannon, Stormbolters, and the Heavy Incinerator flaming, smashing into this Rhino, dropping it down to 5 wounds left. Then back across the line, is it the Storm Raven?
The Storm Raven now.
What, everything at the Land Raider? Okay. So the Storm Raven firing at the Land Raider, hitting on 5s now. What's this?
Twin Mighty Melter.
That's 1 hit and
a 3.
And a 3. So 1 hit. Strength 8, toughness 8.
Twin link because of Drago.
Oh, yes.
Nope.
Nope. And then force to wound. No wounds. And then you got 2 las cannons. Got to do. So this is 5s to hit. And then you only re-roll natural fails.
So that would have been...
So 1 re-roll.
1 re-roll.
Yeah, we got it wrong before. So that's a hit. Strength 9, toughness 8. You need a 3 to wound.
That's a 4.
That's a 4. Last cannon's a -3. These guys have a 2-up save, so I need a 5. Which I don't get, and that will do 6 damage. 4 damage. You're taking the Land Raider down to 12 wounds left.
2 missiles.
2 missiles. 1 hit. You don't get to reroll the 4 yet.
That's a 4.
Another 4. -2 AP, so 4 up, which I fail. And this does, and Storm Strike's missiles do a flat 3 damage, so 7 hull points stripped off of this, putting him on 9 remaining. Rifle Dread number 1 doesn't like the look of its jib, the colour of its jib. It's far too close. 3s to hit. And that's a lot of misses, but you get to re-roll because you're within 6 inches of Drago.
Okay.
Strength 7, you need 5s to wound. And you get 2 wounds, -1 to my saves, so 2 3-up saves, which I make both of.
Okay.
Still on 9 wounds left.
Final Rifle Dread at the same.
Okay, same thing. 3s.
All hit.
All hit, no need for a reroll. And 5s. Just
3.
2?
3.
3. Okay, 3 saves to make of 3 up. And I failed 2, which strips 4 more hull points off of it because they're 2 damage each. So the gunship and the dreadnoughts are managing to strip this Land Raider all the way down to 5 wounds remaining. That was nasty. So this strike squad fired at the Rhino, didn't do any damage. This Razorback didn't move, he's also firing at the Rhino. So it's 3s to hit. And everything hit. Strength 5, toughness 7, so it needs 5s to wound. And managed to get 3 wounds through. It's only got 2 saves left, a -1 modifier, so I need 4-up saves. Snake Eyes. That's the last hull point gone.
Does it go boom?
Does he go boom? No, he does not. Then the smoke clears, leaving a free shot for these guys and a free shot for the Razorback on the Terminators that moved. The Razorback that moved, so I guess he's firing at the Termies, huh?
Yep, 4s to hit.
And that's 3 hits right there, and 3s to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound, -1, so 3-up save. And a Terminator takes a wound. Then the Stormbolts from the squad fired in, causing 4 wounds, which I save. And now the side cannons are also firing in.
4s to hit.
4s to hit.
2 hits.
Only 2.
3s to wound.
Yep, 3s.
2 wounds.
2 wounds, but -1, so 2 3-up saves.
Oh.
Killing 1 and putting 1 more on a wound because I failed both of those saves there. That's nasty. And with the Rhino blowing up next to them with blood in their eyes after taking shots from the back, from the side, suddenly a Dreadknight that wasn't there a moment ago is also going to unload into them. Firing what?
Peace Silencer.
Peace Silencer. Yeah, it's not very good. Hitting on 3s, I take it, unless it's heavy. Nope. And then 4s to wound. That's pretty good. 4 2-up saves to make. And I fail 1. It does D3 damage a pop, but wounds don't spill over, so that would just kill 1 of them. So 2 Terminators dead so far, and this is the one with the side cannon, right?
Yep.
Okay, side cannon coming in. 4s to hit because you moved. And then
3s.
3s to wound. 3 wounds.
3 wounds. -1.
-1. 3 up saves. And I fail 1. Heavy side cannon does flat 2 damage, just burning another one out of its existence. So 3 Terminators dead from this pile, a bunch of Terminators dead from that pile, and I think that's the end of your shooting phase, and that was nasty. Yeah, so Space Marines are dying all across the field. Now we've got some charges coming on. So in the charge phase, Drago makes it in with the remaining Assault Terminators. These guys didn't get very far on the charge, but enough to get them in. This is before the pile in moves. This unit here, straight into those 2 remaining tactical squads here. The Dreadknight into this Rhino. These guys charging this squad of Terminators. They got a good dice roll, so came in here, preventing the heroic intervention from the Chaplain. Making sure that they were all engaged with these models. The Dreadknight charged us well, but didn't manage to get in there. So we've got combats here, 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 and over there. Where do you wish to start?
Drago, Drago, Drago.
Drago. As you can tell, Mike quite likes Drago. Don't we all?
Who doesn't like Drago?
Who doesn't like Drago? 2s to hit. And re-roll in nothing.
Oh, no need to.
And he's strength 8 with his big Titan sword.
2s to wound. Oh, they all wound.
Oh. So
5 up and vuns. No, 3 up and vuns.
3 up and vuns. My sergeant's still in there with claws, so I have to do these separately. 3 up. Of course I rolled a 1. 3 up. 3 up. Okay, so both of the hammers are now dead. And then 5 up on the last guy. Nope, everybody's dead. Because the Titan Sword does a straight 3 damage a go. Drago has got the potential to do 15 damage in 1 round of combat. These guys didn't even need to swing. So Drago's standing firm, the Terminator's piling in and consolidating 3 inches, 6 inches in total towards the closest enemy unit. So he isn't so exposed, so the Warlord for the Greyknights isn't so exposed. And it gives these guys a lot more move, basically moving 6 when they typically only move 5. They're not close enough to draw the Land Raider Crusader into combat. And now we go over to this fight. 4 attacks with a hammer, hitting on 4s because it's unwieldy. Just 1 hit.
1 hit.
And it's a wound on a 3. It's strength 12, toughness 7. And it does wound, and it's minus 4 AP, so no armor save, and it does d6 damage, a demon hammer. What'd you get?
5.
5. I've got 5 wounds left. That's a dead rhino. And the Dreadnought consolidates closer towards the 13th lines. Then after that, these guys attacked and whiffed it. The Sergeant's still alive there. And then round here to this attack, I'm spending 2 command points to interrupt. He's 3.5 inches away. He'll turn and pile in, so I will get to swing first. The Sergeant's dead. All 3 guys have fists, but within 6 inches of the Chaplain, so we will get to reroll a hit on 4s. And it looks like I'll need it. That's 3 hits with the reroll. That's 4 hits. And wounding on 2s. That's 3 wounds, minus 3 AP, so you do get 6 up saves.
3 wounds, yeah?
Yep.
Nope.
Nope. And 3 die. That forced Mike to take the side cannons away. I'll take that. And now we've got a halberd coming in.
Yep, that's the Sergeant.
Sergeant, 2 attacks, 2 hits. Wounds on 3s as well. 2 wounds. 2 5-up and vulnerable saves, which I fail, and these do d3 damage each. So do d3 damage 1 at a time. Okay, because that will kill 1, but that won't. Yeah. So on a 1, 2, 3, that hit first. No, so that hit first and killed 1, and then that put a wound on another. So 1 dies and 1 takes a wound.
Now the hammer.
Now the hammer. He hits.
No, 4s. It's a hammer.
4s, it's a hammer. You're right. This is what it looks like at the end of the combat. I managed to kill 3 of them, but still losing a Terminator here. And then my Sergeant turned around and killed the last remaining chap from one of the strike squads, leaving just 1 strike squad member left there. And then in the morale phase, I lost 4 models. 4 plus 6 is 10. Let's re-roll that with "and they shall know no fear." 4 plus 3 is 7. I'm leadership 7 right now. And everything else you had a go at, you killed. So at the end of game turn 2, I score 1, 2 points. You score 1, bringing the score 4 points to me, 3 points to you. However, all of my Terminators are dead here, and my Land Raider's down to 5 hull points left. My Stormhawk is gone. That thing is still on 1 wound left, your Storm Raven. My Terminators over here have been whittled away, and there's only 2 left. I've basically got the castle here, and the Chaplain, and some tactical Marines, and that's it. And there's Dreadknights now down in my corner. It's looking like it's going to be a walkover for the Greyknights. Let's go on to the Space Marines, turn 3. In the movement phase for the Space Marines, the Land Raider pulls back. The Terminators disengage from that combat, and these guys surround the objective, and that's it. Let's move on to the shooting phase. Now I have to kill that Storm Raven. It's on 1 hull point left, and if I don't start shooting at it, you can start healing it. And while it's very combat ineffective on 1 wound left, if it gets up to 3, 5, 6 wounds, it'll put all that hard work to waste. So let's fire the twin las, hitting on 3s. And I get 1 hit, wounding on a 3, and it doesn't wound. So let's fire the other twin las at it, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of Solgaro. This squad, I'm going to fire 1 las cannon because I'm that confident I will hit and wound with the Signum at the Storm Raven. Right. Now the other 2 las cannons are going at the injured Dreadknight. So the Signum hits on a 2. And I hit. And I'm going to wound on a 3. And I don't wound. Damn. And the 2 las cannons at the Dreadknight over there, the injured one. Hits on 3s. It's 1 hit. Wounds on a 3. That's a wound. You have a 5-up invulnerable save.
No.
Which you fail. He's on
D6.
5 wounds left, and this will do d6 damage. 4. Puts it down to 1 wound. This guy is going to fire the Signum missile launcher at the Storm Raven, and the other 2 missile launchers at him because of his 5-up invulnerable save. He might make it. So let's do the Signum that way, which hits on a 2, and will wound on a 3. Doesn't wound again. Damn it. And the 2 missile launchers at the Dreadknight, hitting on 3s. That's 1 hit. 2 hits. 2 hits. Breathes a sigh of relief there. Strength 8, toughness 6. Wounds on 3s. 1 wound. -2 to your armor save, so that's a 4-up save.
Come on.
No, don't come on.
4 up, 4 up, 4 up. No.
That's a 2, and it does d6 damage. It does kill him. Yay, I killed something. That's the first thing I killed. Do you realise that? It's turn 3 and it's the first thing I killed. Okay, kept this in my pocket. The Land Raider with the Assault Cannon and the Melter at the Storm Raven. The Hurricane Bolters at the Terminators. So let's do the Melter. I'm now hitting on a 4 because I'm injured. And it hits. The Melter will wound on a 3. And it wounds. It's -4. You get your 5-up invulnerable save because you're on the Sky Shield Lander pad. Which you don't make. I killed the Storm Raven. I killed it. I killed it with a Melter. Will it go boom?
Yes,
it does go boom. Dead. It's finally dead. D3 mortal wounds in the explosion to that Dreadnought. He takes 3 mortal wounds. And D3 mortal wounds to the one at the back. He takes 1 mortal wound. This one's on 3 left.
Yeah.
That one's on 6 left. Now let's Hurricane Bolter the crap out of these guys. Then the Hurricane Bolters managed to do 5 wounds on the Terminators, and you rolled 2 1s. I actually killed a Terminator. Yay. Then after killing a Terminator, a Storm Raven, the Dreadknight down here, he fired his pistol into combat, killed nothing. And the Chaplain in this squad here fired at everything, flamed everything, combi plasma, everything at this squad, and just killed 1. 1. So I'm going to have to charge him with them. So let's go on to the charge phase. And so the tactical squad charged into combat, helped out by the Chaplain there, and killed that last strike squad. They consolidated forward, but the Chaplain stayed still, again screening, bubble wrapping this unit here. And that's the end of my turn 3. The 13th are doing all they can to try and repel this merciless advance by the Greyknights. But what will Drago do next? Let's go on to Greyknights, turn 3. In the Grey Knight movement phase, Drago presses the advantage, chasing down this Land Raider Crusader, which is reversing over here. The Dreadknight up and over needs to do a lot of work to clear away the multiple units here scoring that objective. But he's been supported by one of the Razorbacks, which is breaking cover, coming forward. And the strike squad that were there are now within 3 inches of this objective here. In the Psychic phase, Smite killed a Terminator on 1 wound. Smite killed the remaining tactical hero there. They were out of range. Their Smite failed, and Drago just tried to smite the Land Raider and rolled a Perils. Double 1, so it fails. And you don't have any command points left.
Nope.
So D3 mortal wounds on Drago, if you please.
5.
Is that a 5?
Yes.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
However, I get my 6 up because I'm a Warlord trait.
Ah, yes. So you need three of these. 3 of these with your Warlock trait. You can do them for mortal wounds as well. Damn it, Drago. He only takes 2 because he saves one of them with his Tenacious Fighter Warlord trait or something. Has he got 7 wounds?
Yeah.
Drago's got 7 now.
Yeah.
So he's got 5 remaining. Now he's Purging Soul. 6s. Get Perils again.
Nope.
No,
Failed.
finally it failed. Because that tactical Marine died to a Mind Bullet in the Psychic phase, it allowed these guys to open up in the shooting phase along with the Razorbacks into my tactical squad, killing every single one except the Flamer. And then he killed the last remaining Terminator with his heavy incinerator. Suddenly there's a big gap here and the Chaplain is feeling ever so lonely. And now we're moving across to the other side of the battlefield, and what you're doing with the Rifle Dreads?
I'm firing both Rifle Dreads into the Devastators up there.
Okay. First one.
First one. He's hitting on 4s now.
He's hitting on 3s. He doesn't have a degrading stat
Yeah,
line.
sorry. 8 wounds, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay. 3s.
And that is 4 hits.
Very good.
Wound on 3, strength 7, toughness 4. How many did you get? 3. So it's -1 AP, but I've got +1 because I'm in here. Essentially it's a 3-up. And I lose a Marine. There's a 6 there. So kill 1 so far.
Second one.
Oh, that was bad as well. 4 hits. 3s to wound. 3 wounds. 3 3-ups. And he killed another. Both of those rifle jets only killing 2 Marines there because they're hunkered down in that cover. Then Drago and the squad of Terminators unloaded everything they can at this Devastator squad as well, and because I've got the 2-up cover there, didn't cause any wounds. And with that, that's the end of the shooting phase, because I think these guys are going to charge the Land Raider, right?
Yeah.
And who's he charging? You can charge the Cat Chaplain even though he isn't the closest enemy unit. You have to shoot him, but you can charge him if you want to. It's a little bit further away. Flames wash over this Dreadnought as he comes charging in, but it is not enough to dent that armour. He makes it into combat, making sure he's within 3 inches of that objective at the end of the charge phase. Now got some Overwatch around here. In the charge phase, no wounds done on Overwatch despite the terrific amount of firepower coming out of this Crusader, and the Terminator's got an 11-inch charge. They came all the way around here. The closest model there, the first model there, and then the rest in coherency, and Drago made it in as well. And Drago hits, wounds, smashes the Land Raider with ease. Does it blow up? Yes, it does blow up. Nice. I might kill Drago. And when Land Raiders blow up, just checking the rules, they do D6 mortal wounds. So on this squad here. Now you get to roll this because otherwise...
I don't want to.
No, well, if I rolled a 1, then I could re-roll it using one of my command points. So you get to you get to damage your own stuff.
Okay, Terminators first. Fine.
5 mortal wounds. And then Drago's got 5 wounds left. And how many?
Yeah. 1. But I get my
he
6
gets his
up.
6 up, yeah, of course he does.
Oh.
No, Drago takes another wound, putting him down to 4. You're going to lose 2 Terminators there.
Yeah.
And when the smoke clears, it looks like this. The guy's consolidating closer to the closest enemy unit. Drago consolidating as well. And then over this side of the battle grid, the Dreadnought making short work of that lone tactical Marine there. And at the end of this turn, at the end of turn 3, the Greyknights score 1, 2, 3 objectives. And I score 1 objective point. And that puts the score back to 6 points each before we descend into turn 4. So at this point of the game, I think I have to concede, because even if my shooting suddenly becomes ridiculously good and I manage to kill some of the rifle dreads down range, and let's face it, I'm probably not gonna. I'm probably going to tickle them, I'm probably going to hurt them, but even if I manage to kill them, I'm only ever going to score this objective for the rest of the game. Now, there's no way, I mean, the Rhino can't run forward and get up there. These guys can't get down, get over there. There's a strike squad just there. There's a Dreadnought just there. Him on his own won't be able to score that because there's too many scoring units that can take that and hold that. Remember, you score depending on how many models you have there. If I have 1 model there, he has 1 model there, we cancel each other out. But there's another 7 models there. I'm not going to be able to get over there to score that one anymore. So you're definitely getting points there, you're definitely getting points there, you're definitely getting points there. I just have to get ridiculously good at shooting and maybe clear all of these away and still hold on to my objectives, and then I would still lose the game. It's an unwinnable situation. I can't pull back from this. Drago and the Greyknights have done it again, and at this point of the game, with his army crumbling around him, Solgaro will sound the retreat. This is the way the world ends. There's no coming back from this. It was turn 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was that turn of events with the smiting across my entire army with the combat squad, and it's just nasty, just putting in that extra mortal wound on the individual tactical Marines just to thin them out. So this flank, which looked really dire, good for Winters but not good for me, actually turned around within just 1 turn of psychic powers. It was devastating.
It was devastating. You killed Terminators, you killed the Stormhawk, you killed popping that Dreadnought out of combat and then just being able to hit it. Even before you pulled the trigger and killed a bunch of them in the shooting phase, just the smiting and the purging of the souls that was happening there by Drago, it was just gone. That was just a unit of... Assault Terminators with their 3-up invulnerable saves always had that 3-up invulnerable save in the previous edition, but mortal wounds just burned straight through. So yes, you only smite 12-inch range, and yes, it only does 1 damage, but do you like smite?
I like smite. Smiting's good.
I like smite, and I dunk it in my tea.
Smite as much as possible, guys. If you're running Greyknights, smite, smite, smite.
And then combat squad, obviously, it just yells at you to combat squad so you can get as much smiting done as possible. In this case, you knew I was going to beat you to the drop once we started placing the first couple of units, so you thought, sod it, I'm combat squadding all over the place, maximising my smite, and yeah. I think my shooting was appalling as well. I think that was terrible.
That wasn't so good.
That wasn't...
I weathered the storm way too much over it. Even with the Sky Shield landing power given a 5+, the Storm Raven shouldn't have survived this long into the game, and I didn't move it. It just went in from flying into VTOL mode, and it just took it. Took it like a boss.
I don't think that 5-up came into effect very much. I think it might have made 1 or 2 wound saves with it, but it didn't really help you that much. It was just I couldn't shoot for toffee. Anyway, the Greyknights take it again. I think they're a very powerful force in 8th edition so far. As the sun sets, Drago walks to victory and leads his Greyknights back to Titan. Thanks very much for watching. Happy wargaming.